Hello, and thanks for taking a moment to watch this video. In the next few minutes, I'll explain why the members of the Real Estate Coalition are asking you to vote against the lead bill proposed by Councilperson Reynolds Brown. Please understand, we all care about the health and welfare of children, and while this well-intentioned bill would seem to protect children from lead poisoning, unfortunately, we don't believe it will. On the surface, it sounds good, right? Make sure every rental unit in the city built before 1978 is tested for lead. Problem solved with compliance and every unit safe, right? Well, not really. Let's take a look at some facts. In 2018, approximately 1,500 children tested positive for lead, and of that number, between 50 and 60% live in rental units. Of those 1,500 children, 369 tested positive for lead at the highest levels, so about 200 lived in rental units. But how many of those children were actually poisoned in the home instead of maybe at schools? And most importantly, how many lived in licensed legal rental units? 100, 50, maybe just 10? When you look at the Department of Health's maps highlighting where the most children test positive for lead, and you overlay that with the city's maps highlighting where the most unlicensed rental units are, there's a correlation. Meaning it's highly likely that the children in the most danger of being poisoned by lead in the home will not be protected by this bill. Because the landlord running an illegal underground rental unit, boarding room, or rooming houses aren't going to obey the law now, well, they're certainly not going to comply with the new lead requirements. Unfortunately, the city does not currently have these important numbers, so we can analyze the data and assure we create a solution which targets the problem. You've heard us say this bill will cost property owners approximately $240 to $60 million. And one way or another, that cost will be passed on to renters. In addition, the burden of this law will force small owners and even some larger ones to just give up and stop renting their units. We estimate between 3,000 and 6,000 units will come off the market, and those units are mostly affordable in the most at-risk neighborhoods. But we have a solution which deserves the time to properly vet. The law as written now applies to 175 units in the city, yet less than 12% had children. Why spend money to protect units where there are no children? Let's create a plan that doesn't just feel like we're doing the right thing. Let's actually do the right thing and pass a law that will make a difference while being fiscally responsible. Thank you for listening. I or any of my coalition colleagues would be happy to discuss this further. In the meantime, please urge Councilperson Reynolds Brown to delay the vote until we have the data and the information to make an informed choice. One final note, we do want to thank Councilperson Reynolds Brown for her courageous efforts in helping to protect our children. She has led a cooperative and inclusive process, and we know she wants to do the right thing.